Started.
You up?
Yeah, it's starting now. Yep, we good.
We got it? All
Yep.
right. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
What's up,
What up,
everyone?
everyone? Got on here with my boy Leonard. We trying to, we out here trying to be of service and do what we could do to give this back, man. It's a gift, and glad to be with y'all. Everybody who's chiming in, man. Throw your name, where you're from in the chat, and man, we appreciate all y'all being here and for the support, man.
Definitely.
Len, thanks for coming through again, bro. It's always a pleasure working with you and getting this thing, giving this thing back that we got going on here, man.
Of course, man. Of course. Always look forward to kicking it with you, man. Always look forward to it.
Yeah, man. It's always good synergy, man. So today we're gonna talk about something that everybody who struggles with addiction, every entrepreneur, every person who's in any kind of relationship that they built, something that comes across in any aspect of life that we got to learn from is failure. And man, have I learned how to fail and have had to accept learning how to fail in order to succeed in life. And in the beginning, before I even knew that, damn, you got to fail in order to succeed, I was afraid of failure. I was afraid of falling on my face and not being able to get back up, because when I was out there in active use, getting high, risking my life, I failed so many times trying to get sober. You know what I mean? I failed so many times because I tried to do it on my own, my way, and or because I tried to do it because somebody else wanted me to do it, and I couldn't do it until I was ready, right? So there was so many times I had to try to get sober, but then I fell on my face, and I ended up going back out and using. But thank God that I didn't stay down and say, you know what, I failed. I'm not going to be able to do it again. I'm not going to go get sober, because by the grace of God, I was able to get sober and learn from those failures. But for me, learning how to fail and succeed started off even earlier than that, and I still wasn't aware of how failure led to success, right? I mean, when I went taking my Series 7 to become a stockbroker, I failed 2 times, bro, before I passed. And if I quit at that point, at that first failure, I would have never had the taste of success I had that was able to catapult me into the success I have now. And man, I say thank you to failure for being able to teach me the lessons that I've learned in life, to be able to be who I am today. And now, man, shit, I welcome failure with open arms and a code of honor, because I look at it like, how could I learn from this failure now? And before getting sober, man, I didn't even know how to do that, bro. I had no idea what that was about. I was doing it subconsciously, right? Because we're all capable of doing it. We do it since we're babies. But then something happens when we get older. We stop accepting failure and thinking, oh, I don't want to try that again. I don't want to fail. Being, fearing the failure rather than welcoming it with open arms. I'm curious, man, for you, like, how did that work out for you when you were trying to get sober and your successes in business and the journey of life that you've had?
Yeah, I think it's our perception of failure, right? So I had again, like you said, failure is part of success, and to find success in anything that you start, journey on to accomplish, there's going to be failure if you want to succeed. And yeah, when I was early in business, early in sobriety, I didn't know what that meant. You know what I mean? If I was failing, I failed so many times trying to get sober. And a lot of times I just gave up. I mean, I relapsed and not get right back up and try. I would go back on a binge drinking for months, then try to get sober. And then when the failure came, I didn't know how to handle it. And I think, again, it's our perception of failure. If we understand that to get where we want to go, as long as if our intentions are good and we're doing it for the right reasons, failure is going to become part of it. And once we embrace that and accept it, you're on the right path, So, and you take that failure as a learning. Whenever you not accomplishing something, you have a setback or difficulty. We have to look at it like, okay, what can I learn from this? And you're not taught that. Sometimes we don't understand that. But if we understand that if there's a setback, and then we can learn from, okay, what did I do wrong here? What can I do better next time? It's just part of the process, whether it's business, whether it's recovery. Learn from when you have a setback or when the difficulty or something didn't go the way you wanted to. If we learn how to look at it like, okay, part of the process. Now, what happened here that I could do better next time, so this won't happen again? And then that's how we keep progressing. That's how growth comes. That's how we move the needle. But again, it's all about changing the perception of failure. Not when you fail doesn't mean you have to quit. If it's hard doesn't mean you don't do it. So yeah, and I experienced that big time. I mean, I didn't till later in life where I understood that whatever I want to accomplish, there is going to be roadblocks, and just understand that it's going to happen. And I think when we have that self-awareness to understand and know that these things are going to happen, that there may be failures, there may be setbacks. If we have that awareness and know it's going to happen or expect it to happen, then we can handle it better once we're faced with it. That's what I feel.
Yeah, man, because there's so many people out there who struggle with the word failure because they want to be perfectionists.
Right.
And let me tell y'all, whoever is out there thinking that it's going to be perfection the whole way through, man, you got a long road ahead of you if that's what you think, man.
Well, they say it's about progress, not perfection.
Yeah, man, perfection is an illusion, bro. It ain't about perfection. Perfection isn't real. Nothing's perfect. God didn't make anybody perfect. Right. But it's about progression. And if you could progress every single day, it's a win. I mean, think about the big names out there that have built their success off of failure, right? I mean, Walt Disney, how many times did he get turned down by the banks for Disney World? I mean, if he would have stopped after his first failure, there would be no Mickey Mouse. There'll be no Disney World.
Exactly.
And he got turned down numerous amount of times. Same thing with the Colonel from KFC.
Yeah.
I mean, he got turned down numerous times too, but he got back up and they moved forward and they saw their vision through. It's about failing, but having the vision to be able to, number one, you got to learn from your mistakes, and then having the vision in front of you so that you're able to overcome that failure and not stop at failure so that you could succeed, right? I mean, look at the Michael Jordans of the world, right? I mean, Michael Jordan missed how many shots, right? Because he took more shots and he was able to, how many times did he have to get his ass bust by the Pistons before he went out to win his championships, right? And listen, I'm a Knicks fan, but you got to respect MJ for who he is. But I mean, shit, man. So even like the greatest of the greats, they're failing before they succeed. I was watching this video the other day. Where was I? I think I was at Brandon Bashard's event, Growth Day, and he put up a video on the screen of Steve Jobs when he was presenting his vision on the iPad, right? And how he failed at creating that iPad numerous amount of times. And this is before the iPad was successful. But he had the vision to see what the iPad was going to be exact. And he explained it exactly what it is today, years ago, when he was failing with it by making it too big, not the right components involved, whatever it was. But that failure, he saw the vision and he allowed that vision to help him get over the failure to be able to succeed. And now today, I mean, Apple's probably one of the biggest companies on the fucking planet. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, man, it's just that failure, you got to learn to be able to utilize it towards your advantage. Because yes, does failure feel good? No, it sucks. It sucks to work at something so hard and then all of a sudden it doesn't work out the way you expected. But you know what's worse and what feels worse than the actual failure is putting your head down and giving up.
Right. Definitely. And yeah, and like you hit on, you talked about vision and knowing what you want. If you know what you want, then you have the vision of, you know, how you want the outcome to be. You know, that'll also keep you motivated, inspired, and keep you on track to when you have these setbacks to overcome them. You know, once you know what you want and you have that vision for it. So, and again, we always say you have to, you know, expect these roadblocks to come, and like I say, keep your eye on the prize, laser like focus, right? To keep on what you want to achieve, and then that'll set you up to better handle, you know, any setback, roadblock, failure as you're going on that path. And yeah, like you said, if we all look at the people who made the biggest impacts on the world and changed lives in this world, and thought leaders, even people that we look at today, failure was part of their story. Failure was setbacks and part of their success. You know what I mean? So it was about them overcoming them and not stopping once there's a difficulty there. They pivoted if they needed to and kept moving. And they had a vision. And they understood that it's no such thing as it's difficult, and there's no such thing as easy when it comes to accomplishing something that's really gonna change people's lives, you know what I mean? Or change your life, even if you're working on something for yourself. And yeah, there's going to be setbacks, there's going to be failure. There's no such thing as, like you said, perfection. And a lot of times there's no such thing as easy. You know, it's going to be tough and difficult. And if we change our perception on that, then we'll move the needle and keep going and succeed.
Yeah. And you know, you mentioned how there's no such thing as that straight line right to the top. It ain't gonna be a straight line to success. If you really think that, then you got a whole nother world coming to you, man, because shit's gonna get fucked up. There's gonna be bumps in the road. And you gotta be able to navigate through those bumps in the road to achieve your greatness. Because that in between the beginning and the success, where it gets all bumpy and screws up and the setbacks happen, and that's where you build your resilience muscles. That's where you build your character, because overcoming adversity, that shit reveals character, man. And being able to really overcome those challenges is what shapes you in life. It's what gives you the strength to be able to be successful.
Right.
You can't, I don't think, there's not one person I know who's successful who hasn't had to experience some kind of failure. Unless you're getting like an inheritance of a few $1,000,000 from people from before in your life, you're gonna have bumps, and I'm sure even those people, they got bumps in the road too that they got to deal with. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know. I was never handed $5 million and said, "Here, go." I'm just saying. It's. But man, everybody I know, everybody I've studied, and I've studied successful people throughout my life, and I still do every day. And every single one of them talks about some kind of failure that they've had to overcome that helped them achieve their greatness. It's just a fact.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, man, listen, if you're out there struggling as an entrepreneur, if you're out there struggling and you're in active addiction, and you've been failing over and over in your relationships, whatever it is, don't give up. Don't give up, and just know that setback is just going to make you stronger. It's just going to help you be able to shape yourself and mold yourself into the person you're supposed to be. Don't be afraid. And for people who are new to sobriety and they may have a relapse, guess what? for some people, relapse is part of the story.
That's right. Part of the process. Yeah.
It ain't time to give up. Same thing with an entrepreneur. You start your business up and shit falls out from the bottom. It ain't time to give up. Use those setbacks to help you learn from those mistakes so that you don't relapse again, so that you don't make the same mistakes again as an entrepreneur, so you don't make the mistakes in your marriage, so you don't make the same mistakes as a parent, right? Learn from those so that you could grow. Because once you start making the same mistakes over and over again, that means you're not learning from the mistakes. You're not learning from the failures. And doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity. So that's the opposite of what you want to do when it comes to learning from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes, implement what you've learned from mistakes in your life going forward, and you won't make those same mistakes again. And that's how you grow. That's how you succeed in whatever it is you're looking to accomplish that's you believe failure was holding you back from. It won't hold you back anymore.
Hey, you said it all, man. I don't know what to say after that, Joe. Dropping some gems, man. But for us, yeah, exactly that. Exactly what he said. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But yeah, man, you're absolutely right. And like you said, just to add on before we go, yeah, going through those struggles and difficulties and pain, sometimes it's always going to make you stronger, make you more resilient. So that's part of the process. Like you said, the hiccups, the setbacks, the relapses, all part of the process. And once we wrap our head around that and understand that, the more we go, the stronger you're going to get. I think we'll all be in a good place, and you'll be on that path to achieving what you want to achieve. So,
yeah, man. Just don't. Everybody, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Fail forward.
That's right.
And fail again. Learn from it. Fail again. Learn from it. But make sure it's different failures. Don't keep failing over the same shit and embarrass yourself. You know what I mean? It just try to learn from those mistakes. Fail forward. Remember, fail stands for first attempt in learning.
That's right.
And if you learn from it, you're good to go, man. Leonard, man, as usual, this is great. I'm glad to be here with you, and I'm grateful that we're able to do this together. I'm grateful that we're both sober and able to do this together. Because if we weren't sober, I don't think any of us would be doing this shit right now. That's for sure.
Not at all, man. Not at all. Thanks, brother. Thank you again, as always, man. Of course.
Yeah, man.
Glad we could do this.
Everyone who tuned in, man, thank you for listening in, and we'll see you next week. Man. See you next week.
All right.
Stay profitable, stay productive, and stay blessed, y'all.
That's right. All right. Later.
All right, we'll go. You don't got to sign off because we ended the stream, I think. Let's see.